China's Spring Festival, or Chunyun, is officially underway and often described as the biggest annual human migration on Earth. This year's travel peak started Thursday. Like Thanksgiving in the U.S., people go home and reunite with their families during the Spring Festival. But in the world's most populous country, the journey home can often become a travel nightmare. CCTV's Han Peng joins us live from Beijing for more on the Spring Festival travel. How are things going there so far?
Good evening, Elaine. It's the biggest human migration happening on Earth now. A record high of 3.6 billion passenger trips are expected to be made throughout the 40-day period of the traveling peak. That's equivalent to half of the population on the planet. The surge of the passengers is now pushing China's transportation system, no matter railway, highway, or flights, to their limits. But still, the capacity of the transportation system here in China cannot meet the high demand. For every traveler, getting a ticket is now a battle they must fight. The Chinese government has been actively pushing the construction of the high-speed railway system these years. Some people say the problem is not just the supply and demand in transportation, but the imbalanced development of different regions of China. But no matter how frustrating their journeys can be, people join the annual travel rush to return home for their family reunions.
In Han Peng, on the first day of the travel rush, at least 2 deadly accidents took place, one involving over 100 cars on the Beijing-Shenyang highway and the other in Yunnan province, killing 11 people when a car fell over a cliff. What are the traffic safety concerns in China?
Well, actually, according to China's Public Security Ministry, every year 60,000 people die on China's roads. That's equivalent to 1 in every 10 minutes. But on a positive note, however, the latest figures show that the number of the traffic accidents in 2013 were the lowest recorded level in 2 decades. Some people believe it's a result of what many call the toughest ever traffic laws. At the start of 2013, the traffic law were enforced, which meant heavier punishment for driving violations. This seems to have made the roads safer. Elaine?
And Han Peng, where are you going to be part of this great immigration trend this year? Where's your hometown?
Well, actually, my hometown is quite close to Beijing. It's just about 200 kilometers away. It's Tianjin, it's a coastal city in northern China. But my concern is not just about going back home. It's because the journey should be easier compared to many others. My concern is about the holiday that has been reformed. Actually, the National Holiday Office has just launched a reform saying that people now must work during the Chinese New Year's Eve. It's like Christmas Eve, on which people should go home and reunite with the family, but they say people must work. And for some of my colleagues, perhaps they have an excuse of their train tickets. They could say that it's hard to get a ticket, so I must go home before the national holiday. But for me, I may have no excuse and have to stay here in Beijing and work.
All right, CCTV's Han Peng reporting live from Beijing. If you do travel, safe travels to you. According to a survey, more than 60% of travelers during the Spring Festival are migrant workers. In Shanghai's railway station, one of the busiest transport hubs in the country, our reporter Li Nan discovered how migrant workers feel about this year's travel peak.
With Chinese New Year's Eve just 2 weeks away, millions are keen to board their trams to get home in time for the family dinner. Yu Zewu and Nisham have been working in Shanghai for a year now, and they can't wait to get home to be with their families in Shanxi province.
It is nice to see and join in the development of big cities. Shanghai is a first-tier city with many opportunities. I want to enjoy the adventures here when I am young.
Getting a foothold in this city is not easy, and the young couple will get married in this holiday.
I feel more secure and less lonely with her than being on my own, as I'm drifting away from home.
They've wrapped up their wedding photos carefully and will take them home, hoping their families will share in the joy.
I spent over 3,000 yuan on wedding photos. It is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me, and I wanted to do it well. I took this one at the Waibaidu Bridge, one of Shanghai's landmarks.
Just a train ride away from home, the couple are looking forward to the reunion with family.
I've been longing for this moment for a long time, I'm going through a host of feelings now.
什么都有。
最重点的还是工作。
I hope that I can do better at work next year because it's the fundamental of our new life here.
经济吧。
Nearly 260 million passengers are expected to take trams during this year's Chunyun.
Like this young couple, millions of Chinese have left their hometowns to work in the cities to realize their dreams and have a better future. Now, after a year of hard work, it's finally time for them to go back home and reunite with their families. 林南 CCTV 上海。